afternoon. I'm Dennis McGee, and I'm here at the Purple Heart Memorial. I would like to introduce John Barron, a good old-time friend of mine, but he has a few words he'd like to say.
Well, to begin with, I am the last commander of Chapter 436. All these World War II veterans were passing away. Like MacArthur said, they just faded away. And some of them died here in Garland County. Some of them went back home to Mississippi and Virginia and Minnesota. But anyway, I still am active, and even though we don't have a chapter, a lot of us have become members of the Little Rock chapter now. I would like to also give a little background in the history of the Purple Heart. I was recruited and I joined the Purple Heart back in 1947. A World War II veteran, a World War I veteran, who was a member of the Purple Heart chapter, which originally was in Chicago, Illinois, recruited me for the Purple Heart. My participation, even though I'm not active locally, is to help unveil the monument that was located at Spring and Broadway and Central Avenue. I will have a newspaper article dated 1997 that I will present to the organization later in the ceremony. So I think that is about all I need to add
that was very
to
nice.
The ceremony.
I want to congratulate you on your service.
Yes.
And I would like to mention that you do sell bricks occasionally, don't you, at certain times of the year?
No,
don't they sell bricks here?
Well, here they do,
but,
yes.
Yeah, my twin brother passed away about 7 years ago, and he was a recipient of the Bronze and Silver Star in Vietnam 2 tours. But John, thank you for your service, and thank you for informing us about these two
If anyone
veterans.
would like to volunteer to hold one of our...
Halt! Breathe, then. Huh!
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Right shoulder. Huh! Huh! Turn. Hut!
Our Master of Ceremonies for today's event is Tom Wilkins. Yes, everyone, please have a seat if you have a chair. Tom has been a familiar face over the last 35 years in Hot Springs, leading the cheers for renovation and revitalization of historic downtown since the mid-90s and community leadership for scores of projects in Hot Springs. For the last 30 years, you can find Tom in historic downtown Hot Springs, operating the 5-Star Theater, which has become a cornerstone of downtown entertainment in the community. One of Tom's most outstanding contributions to our community was to organize and co-chair the fundraising efforts to build this beautiful Veterans Memorial of Garland County. This massive campaign raised well over $550,000, literally one penny at a time. To top that off, in October of 2014, Tom also organized, along with his fundraising partners, a huge patriotic event for the Fallen Hero Memorial Project to my left. The dedication of this memorial in 2014 drew over 1,000 spectators as Tom envisioned and even orchestrated a Black Hawk helicopter fly-in to everyone's amazement, helping to keep the promise. Tom Wilkins.
Thank you, Wendell. There are some beautiful bikes here. I mean, just gorgeous bikes. I want everyone to know that I do have a Honda 50 at home. But Wendell would not let me bring it here today, so at any rate. I would like to introduce one of our guest speakers, Mark Diggs. Mark Diggs was born in Jonesboro, Arkansas, where he graduated from Arkansas State University with a degree in mathematics, but he has been a resident of Little Rock for the past 38 years. A distinguished military graduate at Arkansas State University ROTC program, he was commissioned a second lieutenant in 1970 as a field artillery officer. Ordered to Vietnam in 1971, he served from March of 71 to August of 71 in A and B batteries of the 5th Battalion, 4th Artillery, 1st Brigade, 5th Infantry Division, and 1st. Say that fast 3 times, Mark. He served a lot. He served in one of the most hazardous positions in the Army, A Forward Observer. He saw heavy combat as part of the Operation Lamb's Son 719 along the Laos and Vietnam border. He was wounded June 2nd, 1971, and received his first Purple Heart at that time. From August 1971 until January 22nd, 1972, he served with B and C Batteries, 2nd Battalion, 32nd Artillery, 23rd Artillery Group as Fire Direction Officer and Executive Officer. In late September, the battalion commander asked Diggs to move to Fire Support Base Pace as the 200 American stationed there had been cut off and surrounded by enemy troops. With no regard for his own safety, he agreed to go. Diggs rallied his troops by helping to man the guns himself and exposing himself to enemy fire. He was again wounded on October 12th and received a second award for his Purple Heart. Under his extraordinary leadership, however, the gun crews responded and the base held on until the siege was broken in late October. Lieutenant Diggs was awarded the Bronze Star Medal for his courage, initiative, determination at Fire Support Base Pace. Diggs returned back home to the U.S. in 1972 and completed his service at Fort Hood, Texas, where he was honorably discharged as a first lieutenant in 73. He is a life member of the Vietnam Veterans of America, Disabled Veterans of America, Veterans of Foreign Wars, and the Military Order of the Purple Heart. Mr. Diggs is a U.S. Army veteran serving as an artillery officer during the RVN conflict and was inducted in the Arkansas Military Veterans Hall of Fame in 2011. He is the commander of the Little Rock Chapter 431 of the Military Order of the Purple Heart, senior vice commander of the Department of Arkansas, and was named the 2016 Patriot of the Year. Mr. Diggs is the founder and board member of Veterans Villages of America, a nonprofit, the mission to establish communities across America focused on helping veterans with TBI, PTSD, and their families. Mr. Diggs earned a bachelor's degree in mathematics and a master's degree in computer science, and is a seasoned and successful serial entrepreneur that focuses on creating and working with early stage technology companies. A true American hero and helping to keep the promise. Mark Diggs, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for that introduction, Tom. My speech is going to be a lot shorter than the introduction. First of all, I want to thank the Arkansas Honor Ride organization for sponsoring this event, putting it on, and for your heart for veterans, especially those that are wounded and their families that need support out of the Brooks Army Hospital in San Antonio. I want to thank Wendell Roberts for the organization effort he put together at the city of Hot Springs for this outstanding location. Most importantly, I want to thank the riders that participated in this event, and all of those that have served in or are serving, either served or are serving in the military, because this is really pretty humbling to see this many people. I'll tell you what, really exciting to see these young people down here involved in this, because when I'm the youngest guy in the room, you got a problem. And unfortunately, in a lot of these veterans organizations, a lot of us are dying out and we're getting old, and there's a reason for that. In World War II, 99% of the people were involved directly or indirectly in the war effort, and they understood the price paid and the sacrifices that were done during that war. Today, with an all-volunteer army, and they're doing a military, and they're all doing an outstanding job, by the way. The inverse is true. Only about 1% is really involved and really understand the sacrifices being made. So it is absolutely critical for events like this, for your participation, to visually come out and engage in this, to honor veterans and to honor their service, to pass this legacy on. That's why it's important for these young people to be here. So you're to be commended because you're passing on the legacy by your participation of your talents and time and money. You're honoring those that have served and paid the ultimate sacrifice and have gone on, and veterans like me that are combat veterans, and a lot of you guys are combat veterans here, and it's good to see some of you guys from Iraq and Afghanistan here. It really is, because us Vietnam veterans, we're on the downhill side pretty quick. I see some World War II veterans here. And I really appreciate it. So all of you that served in the active duty military, the National Guard and Reserves, thank you for the commitment you made for this country. It's what makes it work. Thank you, and it's very humbling to be allowed to represent the Purple Heart veterans at this event, and to recognize you and let you know we appreciate your support. We do not take it for granted, and we hope to do this again soon. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Diggs. I saw Joe West out there somewhere. Joe West, where are you at? Where's Joe? Where? Run over here for a second. This is not in our script, but I wanted to make sure that people knew who you are. This young lady here is the head of our local Veterans Memorial Committee.
Thank you.
You got me nervous. Committee. Joe West, go ahead and say something here real quick.
What a privilege. I did not expect the mic today. We're so fortunate to have the veterans and the people in this community that support this Veterans Memorial. Thank you all for coming today, and it's such a privilege to host so many fine people. Go Harley.
It's truly an honor to introduce this next gentleman, General Arwood and myself. Anytime I need advice, I call General Arwood. And then I reevaluate my plan knowing that he always has a better way. Our keynote speaker this year is Major General Tom Arwood. General Arwood grew up in Northwest Ohio and graduated from Bowling Green State University in 1958. 1 year later, he entered the Army, advancing from second lieutenant to Major General during his 34 years of service. Tom earned his MBA from the University of Richmond in 1970 and attended Air War College in 1979 before being assigned to the Pentagon. Before his retirement in 1993, Tom traveled around the world, serving in Vietnam, Somalia, Panama, and Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and commanding the humanity relief efforts for Hurricane Andrew in southern Florida in 1992. Major General Arwood has received numerous distinguished military awards, which would take the remainder of the afternoon to list. To say he's a decorated military officer would be a huge understatement. Currently, he serves on the St. Vincent Hospital Advisory. Currently, he serves on the St. Vincent Advisory and Foundation Hazards. Is this a presidential debate here? I'm just checking. And as president of the Hot Springs Village Foundation Board, president of the Veterans Memorial Foundations, president of the Rotary Club, and chairman of the Government Affairs Committee. His wife Peggy serves also on the St. Vincent's Advisory Board and at the Boys and Girls Club, and is chairwoman of the POA Recreational Committee. Helping to keep the promise, our friend Major General Tom Arwood.
Well, if you know Tom, you know he overextended himself on that, so don't believe all of it. You know, I feel very honored to be asked to come here today because of all the veterans, because of the ride group that came in here, and for what you do to support the family. If I have one theme that bothers me most of all, is we don't appreciate the families of those who serve. And we leave them with the responsibilities at home as we go off to another location. Take care of the families. You'll know them. They're in your neighborhood. Ask them if they're doing all right, if the people are in service. You know, it's an interesting time for us. First, I do want to do one thing. I want to introduce Dallas Herdman. Today, he is been a commander of the VFW Guard, and he in the village runs our order of guns and salute. And given the demographics of our village, we do it all the time. As he said to me today, he's going to play aide. He's pretty good aide too, so he's glad to be here with me. The Purple Heart. The Purple Heart is a President's Award. It's been in being since April the 5th, 1917. The Purple Heart is not given to someone because somebody recommended it, it's because, quote, they personally earned it. They get the Purple Heart because they were either wounded and or gave the ultimate sacrifice. It's not a campaign ribbon. It's not an activity for a unit. It's the individual. So when I say Purple Heart, I say it's personal. It's between the president and the individual that has it. And we all should respect that when we see them, anytime, and in any place. Our nation has been involved in a conflict for almost 2 decades now. The start of that point was Desert Shield and Storm, and that was in 1990 and 91. I was there. That's when we first changed the life and the picture and the face of that force going out, because the support force had been eliminated pretty well, or reduced, I should say, within the active force. And I was involved with everybody else to put together 600,000 people to go halfway around the world and fight a battle. Most of that, when you got to the support side, were your friends and neighbors, because we called up all the reserve and all the guard that we could find to outfit this unit. And that's been going on ever since. And we're still doing it today. That force of 600,000 moved halfway around the world. We fought a battle for 100 hours. We did the most right thing that we've done in a long time. We sent the troops home. And I knew that from the standpoint that I, at that time, was in charge of Army Materiel Command, and so all I had to do was sign for 15 divisions of equipment and park it out in the desert in Saudi Arabia. We converted every aircraft we had into seats, whether it be 130s, 141s or something, and sent the troops home. They were welcomed, unlike many of us or you were when we came home from Vietnam, and they gave them a parade. I hope we haven't forgotten as we look in the future for what that was. How long's it been since we had a draft? There's been no draft. Everyone that's serving in any of those organizations did it because they volunteered. They enlisted. They signed up. They went in the reserve. They joined the Guard. Their life changed dramatically. Instead of going out for a little exercise during the summer and maybe a few weekends during the year, all of a sudden, bingo. Up, activated, 6 months prep, 12 months deployment, 6 months down prep when you get home. That cost us in Arkansas. And what it cost us, I've been here 20 years. What it cost us was a lot of our good business people. We got all kinds of businesses in our great state that do landscaping, they do painting, they do anything we want done, plumbers and so forth. And a lot of them are about the size of a 10-person operation. He who owns it leads the activity, the wife keeps the books, and all of a sudden one day he's gone. And that happens in so many cases. And the business doesn't last because the wife can't run the business. At one time, about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I was involved in a special study on that, and there was a 30% loss in small businesses in our state because of that deployment. We've got to fix that, and it's got to get better. With the hostilities that has gone on in Iraq, Afghanistan, the estimated number of Purple Hearts that was given to the people who sacrificed was 45,000. That's a lot of people that stepped forward and did what they were going to do. That's an estimate because daily, with the deployment that we have all over the world, those activities are still going on. What is it that inspires and enables ordinary citizens to rise to the challenge of battle, to be willing to make the ultimate sacrifice of their lives in service to their country? What is it that motivates them to respond and contribute wherever and whenever called upon to do so? The answer is values. The proud legacy of the U.S. military and our country is grounded in their core values: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. Duty means to fulfill your obligations. Respect means treat people as they should be treated. Selfless service means to put the welfare of the nation and the armed forces and subordinates before your own. Honor means to live up to all the military values. Integrity means to do what is right, legally and morally. Personal courage means to face fear, danger, and adversity, whether physical or moral. These values make our nation strong. Carried with us over the threshold of history into the new millennium, these values will keep our nation safe. Listen to the words of Father Dennis O'Brien. It is the veteran, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of press. It is the veteran, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the veteran, not the campus organizer, who gives us the freedom to demonstrate. It is the veteran, not the lawyer, who's given us the right of free trial. And it is the veteran who salutes the flag, who serves the flag, whose coffin is draped by the flag, who allows the protester to burn the flag. This we must keep in our mind. Those that have gone before us have served us well. Those that would go after us will do the same. All of you that are here, thank you. Thank you for serving the nation. Thank you for serving your neighbors. And thank you for keeping our great Army as it is today. I salute you all.
Thank you, Major General Arwood. Always great to have you here. At this time, we invite all Purple Heart recipients to gather behind the monument for the rededication at the end of this ceremony. Wendell, where's Wendell? Is that mean over there? Okay, that's what I thought, but I want to make sure. Over that way, the Purple Heart Monument is off to my left over there. Hi, my name's Tom Wilkins, and we're here at the memorial here today, this beautiful day in Hot Springs, and we're dedicating the Purple Heart Memorial right behind me. People are all around taking pictures. There's probably 1,000 people here. I have a gentleman, a dear friend of mine, who's on the Veterans Memorial Committee, and he's responsible for all actually the memorial itself. All of the monuments and everything came through this gentlemen, and some of them came from far away too.
Yeah, some of the granite on the big memorial, most of it's from India, because it's the best of the kind of granite that we selected for that.
Right.
We wanted to have the best to honor our veterans.
Well, I didn't mention, this is Dick Holden, Hot Springs Monument, and Dick has been instrumental in getting a ton of work done down here, and we appreciate you very much.
All right.
Isn't this a great day?
It is a great day, a wonderful crowd. I appreciate all these people showing up. We do want to continue to honor our Purple Heart veterans and all of our veterans.
Right. Thank you, Dick. Appreciate you. Hey, Dennis. Dennis, come here just a second. Another friend of mine, there's all kinds of friends down here, is Dennis McGee.
Well, hi there. I'm telling you, I'm so honored to be here among all these wonderful people. It's a great turnout, and I'm just honored to be here. That's all I can say. It was very humbling to see the laying of the cross with the honor guard and the unveiling of the monument, as well as the bench. It's just wonderful. What a beautiful park. What a beautiful park.
It is. Seeing all these motorcycles here. I did comment earlier, I do own a Honda 50, but they wouldn't let me bring it out here. But I'm going to, Dennis, go grab Wendell, that guy right there. I'm going to bring Wendell in here. Wendell, come here. You can tell we planned this out real good. Wendell, this was Wendell's idea. He's the one that spearheaded this. He's the one that put together. He's the one that had the misspelled words in my program. Just everything there. Wendell, Great job.
Thank you, Tom. And it's not just me, it's all my board members on the Arkansas Honor Ride. We come together once a month, plan this out. This is a year-long planning process. So I want to thank all of my board members, my beautiful wife, and Tom Wilkins and our guest speakers. Without the Veterans Memorial crew, we could not pull this off. So this is an awesome gathering, and we appreciate everyone's support of the Arkansas Honor Ride.
Well, you had two great speakers, Mark Diggs and, of course, General Arwood. Always does a great job.
Yes, always. And every year we try to get new speakers, but I don't know if we can top these two guys.
I don't either, but this is a special monument. We're going to step aside and let you get a close-up of the Purple Hearts monument that was moved here specifically for this event.
Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, here we are. Here's what it's all about, the memorial right here on my immediate left. And I have John Barron here. John, what's this day mean to you?
What's this mean to me? It means recognizing people that have sacrificed their lives, especially those killed in action. To me, they are all should be recipients not only of the Purple Heart but the Congressional Medal of Honor. Who would be more sacrificial than someone that gives their life for the defense of this country? So I think this is a very appropriate ceremony recognizing the recipients of the Purple Heart. A award, or a medal rather, it's not an award, it's a medal that no one really looks forward to. So I'm glad that we are recognized now as members of the Purple Heart chapter and our former veterans of the wars, because all recipients of the Purple Heart, not only are World War II or World War I, but all wars that we have fought, I guess, since the early 1917s. So, thank you. We appreciate this honorable, I guess, ceremony, and we look forward to more in the near future. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you, John. Gene?
I didn't know I'd spend so many years being so grateful for surviving. And each year we come out for one of these ceremonies, and we're almost proud that we were part of World War II. Thank you for everybody.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
You bet. What's your first name?
Ralph.
Ralph. Yeah, Ralph. Okay, Ralph, how about you, sir? Look towards the camera.
Well, I'm grateful they were able to move this monument here off of Spring Street, because when they walk by Spring Street, who did it in that location where it was at? So this is probably more visible and more people's going to see it. So I think it was a great thing to have this monument moved here. Thank you everybody concerned in doing it and all the work they put in to have to dedicate it with all the other monuments. I know when I was commander of the Honor Guard, we had a ceremony here where we dedicated all these other 3 monuments across the way here. And with the one that come off of the spray off of Malvern and Central Avenue there, that rock that is there, put back there, and way back years ago, that was one of them. And of course they made room for that, and also the flagpole that used to be up by the Convention Auditorium. That was another one. And then the other one, I don't know what they called that. It was I think it was a Civil War monument. But anyway, I'm really glad to see them centrally located here and put this out. This is a beautiful place. Really enjoyed and thankful for them moving this monument to this location.
Well, we are honored to have all you guys here, and really honored to have this memorial here that will be here forever.
Well, thank you.
You betcha, sir. God bless you.